Oh, hey YouTube, how are ya? Haven't seen you in a while, and of course you haven't seen me in a while. Nor John. Our channel's been pretty, what can I say? How can I say it? Dead? Yeah? Yeah, well, I've got some explanation today. Give you a little rundown. It's just going to be a short and sweet video. But before we get into that, I'm going to say that we will start doing some weekly videos again. Just summer has been pretty busy. One of the things here is, as you can see in the garage, we now have a Corvette. Yeah, it's just a decoration. Unfortunately, don't have a Corvette for the garage yet. Still have the GTR on the garage door. The other GTR, we'll give you an update on that as well. Smartkart, still with us. We'll touch that in a few. And then look at that. We now have an area to sit and relax. Oh, and we've got a little puppy that likes to bark here. But yeah, so as you can see, there's absolutely no tools in the garage right now, right? So that's one of the reasons why there has been no uploads from me. Jean, on the other hand, well, he's gonna have to do some explanation of his own. I'm not getting to his into his stuff. He's just been slacking completely. No, just kidding. We've been both busy the whole summer, and yeah, still worked on some cars and got some cars done, whatnot. But I didn't take time to film. You'll know why in a second. Okay, let's just skip to it right now because you want to know. We got a new shop. Yeah, so it took a while because it's a completely new build, and then I had to move in, etc. Right now the hoist is not completely installed, but let's just jump out and we'll go see. So let's go out the door. New shop is pretty darn far. Oh, there it is. So, built it in the backyard. So as you could seen in the previous videos, it was a big backyard, but it needed something else. So that is the new shop. So I'll pause now and then we'll see you inside. So let's go on inside here. And are you ready? Oh, are you ready? Oh, well. There we go. So as you can tell, it is pretty echoey in here, so we need to fill it up with more cars. We'll touch base on the new additions there, because you can clearly see that there's a car there that doesn't look like the others. So yeah, this is a new shop. So we got some big doors, high ceiling, another Corvette. You might be wondering, where did you get that? Well, went on Facebook Marketplace. There was a guy selling a car bed. Ended up cutting both halves and made decorations on it. So that one will be painted and was just going to be used as a wall decoration somewhere in here. But yeah, so this is the new shop. Give you a little walk around. So we got the junk part there, where all the junk goes. And then we got some cars. We got the lift that I still need to bolt down. Then we got a dog. That's the shop dog. Be careful. She'll bite you, literally. Then we got the tool. So obviously I still need to get a bench. It's been a long time coming, and it took a while to get everything done and sorted, but we're almost there. Almost there. Almost time to get back at the projects. Speaking of projects, let's talk about the 240 SX. So, as you know, the 240 SX that we had featured in this, on our YouTube channel, we've been working, we were working on and off with it, and well, sadly, it is no longer with us. Justin decided that we wanted to switch to a different shell, and that's one of the shells that we have here today. And we'll touch base on that. We'll touch base on the good old Smartkart, where we're at with that. Nothing much has changed. And then the other car that I needed to come in here to film a short video for YouTube to sell this car. Kind of sucks that we are not really building it, but I'll explain why we are not building it. Because it's so rare. Don't want to hurt the value. But let's just dive into it and show you Justin's new car. So here it is. That's Justin's new ride that we'll be working on to get it going hopefully soon-ish. But yeah, it is a 2013, if I'm not mistaken, Scion FRS. It only had 80,000 kilometers and it had a blown engine. Surprise, surprise, Subaru. You guessed it, motor's blown. I actually pulled the stock swap out and already threw in one of these. Yep, you guessed it. A good old LS. So that's the LS that was actually in the 240 and is now sitting in here. So obviously, as you can tell, the mounts are there. There's no headers. There's no this, there's no that, there's no that. The engine's just sitting in it with the transmission until we can get some parts in. So yeah, so we'll dive into this more into details. Of course, the engine needs to come out. A few things we need to do to the engine, and then we'll show you the process of putting it in, how we did the mounts, because I did not purchase any mounts for this. Yeah, so we'll go over that. The Smartkart, a good old Smartkart. So what's the update with that one? Well, last time you seen it, the engine was in, roll cage was completed. I needed some wheel spacers, and I needed to get the wiring done. Guess what? We're exactly at the same spot. Still waiting on the spacers. Of course, I told the guy, Final Cut Machining, to put it on hold because he was having some problems with his CNC machine. So I just told him to put it on hold anyways, because I didn't need it right away. But we'll start onto that thing so we can get it doing donuts as soon as possible, hopefully before the snow falls. Yeah. So, what other car? The GTR. Well, the GTR is something that is still a little hard on me to accept. But the GTR is no longer with us. It was not by choice. I kinda, sorta wish that I could have it again. But somebody ran into it. Nobody was in the car at the time it was parked. Somebody hit it in the front right, and it damaged the fender, the door, broke the upper ball joint, and then the corner of the bumper, and cracked the light. So that one, I battled it with insurance because I had a lot of money into that, and eventually made a settlement on it. I tried to buy it back, but they wanted 30-some grand, 32 grand for it. Then I pictured in, like, calculated if I could fix it for around 12 grand if I got the parts for it and whatnot. But I'd still be in a salvage title car. So I ended up sending all my receipts in, and eventually they ended up paying a decent amount, which brings us to the garage today, right? So portion of that went into building the garage. Of course, with COVID, building a garage is not the cheapest thing right now, but it was the right thing to do at the right time. It kind of sucks that I don't have that car anymore, but what will we do? Continue fixing cars, continue doing builds, and eventually get back to a bigger, badder supercar, which I've got one that I'm trying to work out a deal on right now. So hopefully the deal works out, and you guys will definitely love that one. Brings us to another supercar. Doors go up! So let me tell you a little bit about that one. Yeah, so this is a 1986 Fortvac Bernardi. I guess it's a handful. This was built back in the 80s in Quebec. It's not a kit car. It might look like the Eagle SS, but this is not a kit car. This was actually full frame design, came with a V8 455 cubic inch automatic transmission, this one, rear engine, doors go up, like really, it's an 80s supercar built in Canada. And right now, like, I really wanted to build this with you guys. Like, I'll show you around in a few seconds, but thing is, if I build it, there's a bunch of stuff that needs to change. Like, as you may know, like, we do not like stock stuff, and that means that there's a lot of stuff that I would change on that. Front bumper and rear bumper, like, it's it's 80s style. Like it was nice at that time. Like I'm sure, like it's still a nice car, but I'd want it looking a little more aggressive, modern. So I do some body mods. I do some suspension mods, have it even lower. And then engine-wise, like a 455, no, it would need to be like an LS series in the back, and yeah. I wanted to do it, but there's one in, like this is number 1 of 18 cars made. Like it's one of those things that if you mess with it too much, it might hurt the value, it might increase it more, but you don't know. So right now, since it's super rare, because right now we calculated there's only around 5 or 6 left of these that are accounted for. So it makes it really, really interesting. It's a piece of history, so I don't want to mess it all up. So I posted it for sale on eBay and seeing what people would bid on it. And obviously right now it's gonna sell. Like there's been a bunch of bidders on it. I'm hoping it hits a little more than that, because it's still like, right now it's not at the amount that it should go for. Like this is a pretty rare car. But anyways, enough with the rambling. I'll show you what the car is and I'll talk about the car, just because I know you don't want to look at me, you want to look at the car. So here it is. It's an 80s supercar. So that means that yes, the styling is not something that is brand new. Shh, doggy, try and record here. So we're gonna have to deal with her from now on, because she's gonna be the new shop dog. She's gonna get a little bigger and hopefully she's gonna be more quieter. But we'll go back to this. So it is a full frame setup. So initially it started as a mold of the Cimbria, or the Eagle SS kit car. So the body it looks like that, but this was actually extended, it was widened, and then all the aero is completely different than what the Cimbria and the Eagle SS kit car was. So the thing was with Mr. Fortvac that did these cars, like manufactured them, he got them DOT approved and everything. They are manufactured, they are not a kit car. You bought them same way you went to Ford or Ferrari or Lamborghini and got your car. This is how this was sold. But it was a really limited production. So it's a full frame, full custom frame, fiberglass body, and gull-wing doors, engines in the back. It is pretty interesting. So I'll just show you around right now. So as you can tell, like it's been sitting since, well, it's been off the road since 1993. So it is definitely something that, like there's little cracks like right here. There's some primer, but the body is in overall like really good shape, especially for the year, especially since it's been stored for that long. On this side, it's primered, as you can tell. But yeah, so as you can tell in the interior, we've got one seat. I am missing the driver's seat. So that is something that whoever buys it will need to get replicated. But the way they're made, any seamstress or anything can do this. As I mentioned previously, this is car number uno. And what that means is there's a lot of stuff that this car has that the other ones might not. They use this to try out the different engines as well. So this one came with a 455 V8 and obviously the automatic transmission, but they also had manual transmission. So this one has the clutch pedal already, and it still has a shifter linkage to run a manual. So if somebody that buys it, because it's got no engine, it blew up, it's a 455 Oldsmobile, what do you expect? They're not reliable. They had a lot of torque though, so that would make it fun. But you got your own, you can put whatever you want in it. For me, I put modern, right? Modern is the key. You got some nice little wheels in like a gold. Here's what the frame looks like. Of course, it's rusty-ish color right now. It's been sitting for a while. Like the suspension, everything is there. All the throttle cable, everything. Gull-wing doors, of course. The cylinders, after they sit for a while, they tend to be no good. Like, it's a really interesting car. I really wish we could build it, but I do not want to kill the value. If somebody buys it and wants me to build it, then definitely I'll be doing whatever they want, right? And then for the gauge cluster, it's all autometer, so that's pretty neat as well. They had all that. It's all real leather on the interior. Windshield. So when it came to the windshields, one of the things, I spoke with the original owner and everything of this, and I know all the history about it. I spoke with various people that worked at the manufacturing plant to make these, and the windshield alone was $7,000 back in the day. So that's something, because it wouldn't fit with the Cimbria and the Eagle SS. It's different. The way it mounts and everything is completely different. So the windshield, the glass was really expensive. The glass is in perfect shape on this. So that's something that the buyer really needs to be careful on when they restore it. But as far as restoration, like somebody can come in and just paint the body, put a new seat, put an engine, yada yada, get it rolling again. Easy. Or somebody could take it to the next level, tearing it all apart, which is what I would do. Epoxying the whole frame, or even getting it powder coated, putting everything back on. Like, to me, that's what needs to be done on something this rare, this. It might not look good right now, but let me just pause so I can put the door down so you can see how it looks. And then bam, look at that. Like, this is like futuristic looking, right? For 1986, you gotta imagine, guys, like, we're not talking about a brand new Ferrari. Yes, they look good. Brand new Lamborghini. Yes, they look good. This was back in 1986. Like, it right now, it doesn't do justice. A smart car, look how high it is compared to this. Look at the BRZ or FRS. Like, it is like 6 inches shorter right now than the FRS, and it's on the rollers. I'm telling you, this is one of a kind. Do I want to sell it? Do I want to sell it? Front bumper, like if it was me, I'd change the whole look of that. Add a splinter on here, add some lowering, like splitters at the bottom, like just make it look nice and more modern. Maybe even switch up the front end a little bit, like the design. And because I'll show you what's under here. 1 second. Like, it's the gas tank. And this part here is broken, but it's fiberglass, so that's easily fixable for this part here. So the gas tank is here. So worst case, somebody could, like, I'd do another gas tank that would be wider, not as long. And then the whole front end could be shortened and maybe add different lights, like bubble lights or like not pop-up lights. Then I'm gonna get a lot of people that are gonna be telling me that pop-up lights are the thing. You need pop-up lights for an 80s supercar. But, yeah. So that's all I wanted to touch base on today. If you are interested in this car, it is up for sale on eBay. Today, this is getting posted. It's gonna be auctioned off in 4 days. If I get to posting this video tonight. Yeah, should be able to. And, yeah. Be nice to build that. It'd be pretty nice having it all black. What I'll do is I'll add some pictures right now, and you'll be able to see what it would look like in black, in white, in purple, because that's the other colors that the other cars are right now. Anyways, we'll talk back later. Right now, this was just an update to tell you where we were at, what we were doing, and hopefully you like the new shop. A lot of people have been questioning me on these lights. They are Barina lights bought on Amazon. It is super white in here, but it's like daylight. There's absolutely no shadow or anything, so it should be good. Right now, the only thing I need to work on would be the echo, which is that. Hopefully, once we fill it up a little more, then we'll get rid of the echoes, and it'll be better for recording. But anyways, peace out. Jean will do an update soon of what he's been doing. And we'll get back on the Cobra because we still have the Cobra and get that rolling. We've got the wiring harness, we got everything for it now, so should be done hopefully in the next 7 years. Just kidding. Peace!